On Education's ISTE coverage is brought to you by TeacherGaming. Mike, we're giving away a 1-year subscription to TeacherGaming.
So TeacherGaming has like 30 games, tons of games. 1 year is probably just enough time to play all of them, hopefully.
Yes. This is just ridiculous. To enter, all you simply need to do is tweet a pic of your favorite game of all time. It could be a board game, a video game, whatever it is.
Catan.
Yeah, Catan. To @TeacherGaming and tag On Education Pod. Tag us, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Even if you aren't the winner, though, this giveaway, you can still get a 30-day free trial, and all you need to do is go to TeacherGaming.com.
You'd still be a winner to us.
Yes, you are still a winner.
All right, welcome to the third and final day of On Education's ISTE special coverage. I am Mike Washburn.
And I'm Glen Irvin. Friends, we have an amazing pod for you today. We will recap the last day of ISTE, including EdTech Karaoke, the Classcrafts Questathon, and we even get to talk to D2L's Jeremy Auger.
Mexico.
They lost today, earlier this morning. 3-0.
Sorry, who'd they lose to again? I forget.
Sweden.
You told me.
Sweden, yes. So.
And then Germany losing saved your butt.
Yes. So at the end of the game, every person in Mexico and all the fans that follow the Mexican team were tuned in to the Germany-South Korea, it has to be South Korea, game, which was happening at the exact same time, so there's no collusion. And their game was going a little bit longer, and it was tied 0-0, and then the Korean team scored a goal. And
like right at the end?
Well, basically, if they tied, Mexico would be in.
Okay.
If they lost, they would definitely be in. So it was probably about 10 minutes to go in the game, and they scored a goal. It made it 1-0, and then Germany did something crazy. They pulled their goalie up, which never happens. I mean,
that's a hockey move.
Yeah, that was.
That's a hockey move.
So you know that what is that called? The open net goal that happens in hockey.
Okay, yeah,
that happened. That happened in the game, and Germany ended up losing 2-0.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like a legit normal hockey move.
Yeah. So
awesome.
So we're in the tournament. Hopefully, we don't play Brazil. Oh, and Germany's out of the tournament. They were the number one team,
right?
They're the number one team in the world, so they're gone.
But South Korea wasn't the World Cup in South Korea like recently, like in the last 8 or 10 years? Weren't they good at one point? Didn't they have like a really good year recently? No. Okay, I don't know. I don't know anything.
Thinking
about
of a
soccer.
Different sport. But no.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about soccer.
So you presented today.
I did.
Yes.
I did. It was fun. It was good.
Nice.
These presentations are really weird because, a whole bunch of people come and then some people leave when they realize that it's not their thing or it's not what they were expecting, right? You always get some people that just kind of leave, and that's fine. That's normal. So you have to have that expectation that some people are just going to leave. And, but what was really cool was that I ended fairly early. Like I ended around 40 minutes in, and I planned that way. I had it set to be done, or my talk was about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I had planned to let people play the games if they wanted to, and just ask questions because my topic was like a really kind of almost like head exploding, like with information. It was information overload, and I knew that, so I wanted people to ask me questions because it's difficult to literally come out and then just do what I said you should be able to do. And a lot of people stayed and asked questions, and there was like some really good conversation and back and forth, and there would be we would say things and then someone else would say, oh, maybe you should try this instead, like talking to the person who asked the question.
Sure.
Which was really cool. So there was a really good back and forth a bit.
That's cool.
About some cool ways you could iterate on the game design project that I do, and doing it in groups and maybe tying it to things like social justice and causes that I've thought about doing. They brought up a bunch of stuff like that. We've been literally talking about me doing the project in groups this whole week off and on, and someone literally was one of the first questions I'd asked, have you ever thought about doing it in groups?
Yeah.
And I was I'm literally thinking about it right now.
Yes.
So it was neat. It was great. It was fun. I really enjoyed the experience. I'm not super good at it yet. I'm good at talking, but I'm not good at the scripted thing. If I could just do it, like say it, you know, but I wanted to make sure I hit on things, so now I have a script and I had to like make sure I hit on all those stuff. So
that sounds
that's
awesome.
it.
Yep.
It was fun. It was really fun. We have some stuff to talk about. This is our last day at ISTE, so when we come back, we'll chat about that.
Teachers, if you're interested in game-based learning, you simply have to check out TeacherGaming. Mike, we are giving away a 1-year subscription to TeacherGaming.
TeacherGaming has so many games, I can't even keep track of it all. 30 games, 1 year subscription is just enough time to get into all of them.
Yes, so to enter, all you need to do is simply tweet a picture, a little pic of your favorite game. It could be a desktop type of game. It could be something you actually play, like as far as a video game or something handheld.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, any of those, yes. And you need to just send it to @TeacherGaming and tag on @OnEducationPod, and that's it. Even if you aren't the winner, though, right, Mike?
Even if you aren't the winner, you're still a winner to us.
Yeah, you're still a winner, and you can still get a 30-day free trial and test it out for yourselves by simply going to teachergaming.com.
Everyone wins. All right, well, welcome back. Today is the last day. You already see there's people packing up and closing down shops. The press room closes in a little over an hour. We've walked around, we've talked to a bunch of people, and let's get into it. There's some really good stuff here. The first thing, we just got a press release literally an hour ago, I think. The final number for the total attendance, if you include vendors and those types of people, 24,000. So that's even 4,000 more than what we had said last time. Huge number. I think it's way more than ever. I used to remember this conference being about 15,000, so 24 is a giant number.
That's huge, yes. This facility is huge, though, too. So
it's cavernous.
Yes.
That's a nice big word. You went to EdTech Karaoke.
Last night, there's this event that they do, and one of my friends, actually, that I'm going to mention a little bit later, she was the one who actually told me about it a while back when she came to an open mic night that I was doing. She said, you should do EdTech Karaoke, and I didn't know what that was. And I guess it's this big event. I went to it last night, and it's insane. It's sponsored by various different companies, EdTech companies, so they pay for basically there's a live band that plays the background music for whatever
No
you're
way.
doing. Yeah,
See,
so,
I didn't go, so I don't.
yeah, so it's not a typical karaoke. So you have an actual live band, which
wow.
they're super professionals. Could play whatever.
Well, in the venue too.
And the venue is the House of Blues, which is a
It's
pretty
legit.
epic place to go to in Chicago. Yeah, and then it was super awesome, super fun. I even got to sing, so that was awesome. And there was some amazing talent. I mean, teachers we obviously know they're talented, but when some of these people got up on stage, it was just crazy.
Are there any other good ones that you remember?
Yeah, I just don't know who they are. Yeah, but there was several, I would say, at least 4 or 5 of the people that sang sounded like professional musicians. So they were that high of quality, and they jumped right in with the band. There's no practice or anything. You just get up there and you just sing the song, and they play along with you. They're like a pro band.
Wow.
So you gotta know what you're friggin' doing. And these people were ridiculous. I mean, there was a lot of fun people too, but it didn't sound like karaoke a lot of the time. It was pro.
How did you get to do it? Did you have to sign up, or was there a queue?
You have to sign up. I mean, to just attend the event, you have to
get a ticket. Yeah.
You have to sign up for a ticket, and then you have to go get the ticket because there was a limited number of people that they oversold it. And then to be able to get on the stage, you had to do a 1-minute audition in front of
panel?
this little a group of people that host the event.
Okay. In a separate room or something?
No, right in the expo hall. So they pulled you off to the side and they go, you have 1 minute to sing.
Here?
Yeah, down there.
Oh no.
Yeah, yep. So I think Cymbaloo was the main sponsor. And it was at their stand. They had a few different people there who I guess knew something about music, and they made sure that you could sing. But yeah, it was super awesome, super fun.
Nice.
And you went to the Questathon.
The Questathon was rad. The Questathon was amazing. So Classcraft Questathon was last night. And I'm going to talk about it. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about. I'm going to talk about it. because it was cool. Well, they told us to tweet it out and share it and stuff. So they're launching a whole like narrative-driven quest series. So they have a quest and it's got a full narrative, like almost like a World of Warcraft quest or whatever. What teachers do is take their learning objectives and their lesson plans and kind of attach it to phases of the quest. So they build the narrative, you add your material, and it becomes this quest-based learning plan, right?
It's pretty cool.
Which is amazing.
I like that.
And what they wanted us to do, they gave us the bones, the roots of a quest. And they wanted us to build parts of the quest, and then they're going to merge it all together. We were in tables, and they're going to merge it all together and turn it into like a big epic quest, and then they're going to put it on their portal that they're developing for people to download these quests. So the quest that we made last night is going to be used. They were like, no pressure, guys, but 60,000 people are going to be using this next year, which was really funny. So I was at a table with Mr. Isaacs and Alice Keeler, and we were tasked with creating a quest, and the goal was to find a page that was missing out of this epic book.
Yeah.
And so we've developed a small quest line where we have to find the page. And the long story short is that we kind of trolled the rest of the tables a little bit, which was kind of, it's par for the course for me anyways. We developed our page to be the cipher for all the other pages. So you can't complete the quest without getting our page of the book. So our section of the quest line has to be done. So it was pretty fun.
And there's like big names there. Steve Isaacs and Alice Keeler were there.
Yeah, we were all there, and Andy Severian from Teachers Are Professionals was there. He was at our table as well. He showed up a little late, but he joined in. And Mr. Isaacs, Steve Isaacs' daughter, was there at our table. And there was like lots of people. It was almost 100 people there. So there was
awesome.
there was about 8 or 9 tables.
They do such cool events here. I mean, just to really get you out of. I mean, there's all the different sessions that you can attend.
Yeah.
There's the floor, which is the product floor, which has, like you had talked about before, it's really hustling and bustling. And It's really active.
Yeah.
Active based. But then there's all of the events that happen in the evenings.
Yeah.
Which they do a really good job about having a ton of different things to go out and do. And most of this time it's free. I mean, you have to sign up, of course, for different things.
And there's like food, which is nice. And
Yeah.
most of these are like open bars and stuff, so it's a little bit fun. And listen, Sean and Devin are rad people, and Classcraft is awesome. And so, I mean, these guys really knew how to throw a party and have some fun, and so it was a great time.
Yeah, so in bad news, just talk about this for a brief moment.
Yeah.
We're going to link an NPR article basically that states there's a Supreme Court decision that just came through about teacher unions, and basically maybe just unions in general, but the case was Janus versus AFSCME,
right, yeah.
Which is, I'm assuming, a union. And what they're basically saying is, like, for example, in Minnesota, if you are a teacher in Minnesota, you can actually opt out of being in the union, but we still take your money. So by we, I mean the union still goes, and you still get charged that amount, and we take that money because we're a unionized state. So what the Supreme Court ruling states is that that's not legal to do anymore.
Yeah.
So if someone opts out, you can't take that money. So what happens is it basically loses some power as far as, you're not a collective anymore. There are some people that can basically, opt out, and how many people would opt out to save it's like probably about $500 a year or something like that. Just off the top of my head, that's what I'm thinking is
when
the cost.
When you opt out of paying, are you still a member of the union? No.
You've opted out of the union, but we still took your money. So we still took the $540.
Yeah. But in this new scenario.
In the new scenario, you can't take that money. So they basically have destroyed it's a huge, basically, part of it, because you have everybody is all working together towards whatever the results are as far as a union, collective bargaining or whatever it actually might be. And if you don't have that, then you become kind of like these states that are right to work states. They're non-unionized. They still have a union maybe in their states, but they're not really influential. They really can't do anything much more than...
And they have no resources because people are opting out of paying.
Exactly.
I mean,
the resources are important.
Right. So teachers shouldn't be opting, like, hopefully this is for the teachers, your union's important. I mean, you may not like unions, but when you need it, that's when it's going to be there for you the most, right? That's why they exist. That's why they've always existed. And so please don't opt out, because
it's going to be interesting to see what the percentage of people that end up, for example, in Minnesota, that do end up opting out this next fall because of this. So we'll be reporting on this story for sure as the fall comes up and we start re-enrolling. That's when we re-enroll into the unions, and then see how many people end up just choosing not to be part of it, which is crazy. I mean, there's so many benefits to being part of the union. I mean, if you just choose one benefit, it's that you have the backing of the union's lawyers. And there are so many different
when you need them
scenarios that can come up, and none of them being your fault, that can basically bankrupt you easily because of some sort of legal action taken against you.
You never know.
So having that, even if it was just for that, then I would say it's a huge benefit. But there's many other reasons why you should be opting into your union and paying in. I
mean, elections matter, and this is like one of those the things that happen in the Supreme Court are the ultimate in elections mattering, and this is what happens when you lose a Supreme Court justice, or they had an opening and they could elect one, and now this, and now like literally breaking news, like Anthony Kennedy is retiring, just happened like 10 minutes ago. And that's literally another seat that Trump is going to get, and now you're in real big trouble. Because these are lifetime appointments, and this is the ultimate repercussions of elections mattering. And I'm not sure, 2020 doesn't necessarily change this.
No.
Right?
This is a law now.
There's a lot of young because what they're going to do with Kennedy is they're going to replace it with another Gorsuch-like person that's in their 50s, right?
Yep.
And now when you look at, now we just need RBG to hold on for the rest of our life, right? Stick in there, Ruth, because we need you. Because I don't know, there's no other old Democratic-leaning justices, right? Yep. Kagan is young, Stoudemire is youngish, young enough that they're not going anywhere for a long time. Yep. So, I mean, RBG, crazy. You're our last hope. When we come back, we're going to talk, we had a really exciting conversation with D2L's Jeremy Auger about their association with ISTE and the ISTE U program that's coming up.
On Education is brought to you by Audible. Mike, what have you been reading lately? And I suppose you're kind of like me, where you have quite a few books that you have on your list.
I have too many books on my list. I have probably about 40 audiobooks on my queue, and between listening to podcasts and audiobooks, I am well stocked. Lots of cool books are on Audible, hundreds and thousands of titles, and you can get your own audiobook download for free if you go to audibletrial.com/oneducation. That's audibletrial.com/oneducation, and you can get a free audiobook download. You should go do that, right now. Okay, welcome back to the podcast. We are here with Jeremy Auger from D2L. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
It's great to be here.
Yeah. For the people that aren't here and who may not have a whole lot of experience, maybe Google Classroom is their only entry point to this kind of stuff. Let's give us the rundown what D2L is, what you guys do in education.
Sure. So D2L, we've been around since 1999.
Yeah.
We're a learning technology company, and we work kind of across the learning spectrum. namely with our platform, which is called Brightspace. And Brightspace is a digital learning platform for delivering both online or blended learning experiences. So everything from kind of creating and curating content to assessment tools to communication tools, portfolios, parent portals, everything you'd imagine that you'd need to kind of move either all or parts of what would be traditionally done face-to-face in the classroom to the online space.
Awesome. Yes. And you guys work across the spectrum, right? Elementary, I assume you do a bit of elementary, but definitely a lot of post-secondary and higher learning.
So we work all the way from pre-readers. We've got actually a number of applications that are specifically designed for non-readers, all the way up through K-12 and into higher education. And actually, we're doing more and more in the kind of the professional sphere. So professional development and kind of corporate learning and development.
Speaking of that, ISTE made a big announcement this week at the conference that they're going to be really taking it. I mean, it's a pretty impressive dive into professional development, really taking it and grabbing it and owning it a little bit more than maybe they have in the past. And you're going to be a big part of that for sure. So the ISTE U program is a suite of professional development courses. I was just looking through the list a few minutes ago, and there's some pretty serious stuff in there.
Yes, there is.
So let's talk about how you guys got involved and what exactly your role is in ISTE U.
Sure. So yeah, they reached out to us as part of an evaluation that they were doing because they wanted to take professional development for teachers and administrators kind of to the next level.
Sure.
So they wanted to make a kind of a really personalized, rich experience for online learning for their users. And they wanted a platform that could kind of roll with them as they moved into the future. Because one of the things that they were looking to do is not just kind of teach teachers how to use technology in the classroom. They also wanted to be kind of an exemplar of what learning with technology could be like.
100%.
So yeah, when they reached out to us and we looked at what we could do and what they were looking to do, it was really kind of a really tight match. And so as we look to the future, and I mean, they're really just launching here at the conference this week, but the plans that they have are quite impressive, and we're looking forward to being a partner.
So how will people interact with D2L within ISTE? Like specifically, do you have a lot of that nailed down already? I'm sure you have most of it nailed down.
Yeah, so they're just doing kind of pre-registration for the courses now. That'll kind of go live over the summer, I believe, is their time frame. But basically, we're going to be the system that you log into to take those courses.
Okay.
So they've got a whole suite of courses, some really cool things around artificial intelligence and things like that. And so we're going to be that platform both for the learning experiences within those courses, but also kind of they're using our technology to build really a cohort-based community of teachers. So as you're learning, you're not just learning all on your own online. There's actually a community that you can collaborate with other professionals who are going through the same learning experience as you are, and they'll be using our platform to support that.
Which is a good idea. No, that's a really good idea. I mean, just having that, because a lot of times, especially on online courses, it feels like you're isolated, and so having that having that community is super important.
Yeah, and hopefully you can even build lasting relationships with people you might not otherwise run into. With the kind of a distributed nature of the users that will be using this platform. It's an opportunity to build relationships you might not otherwise have.
It's like in using a Canadian term to think of every AQ I've ever taken. And how boring they are and terrible, generally speaking, and hopefully the people who are running these things and can use like all of the tools that you guys have to like their full potential, so that it becomes more than just people click-clacking in a forum, right? Which is a lot of what these AQs are. Is like, here's your question, post your answer. Here's your question, post your answer. Which is, I mean, not a fun way to learn for anyone. Let alone, it's not fun for anyone.
Yeah, no, and I think the interesting thing about the way they've designed a lot of their courses is they're meant to be used kind of real time by teachers in the classroom, right? So there's assignments, for example, that they will apply something they're learning in a classroom and then bring that result or feedback of their experience back to that community and as kind of part of the assignment, and so that across a community of teachers, you can all bring back different experiences, share them, and learn from each other, not just from the content or from the course.
Actually, this is a sort of related question, but Do you know if ISTE U will be available in Canada?
I believe so. I believe their intention is to, kind of go broad across North America, and they're actually leveraging a number of kind of different languages that we support within the platform. So I know their intention is to look at other markets for these courses as well.
Awesome. Good. All right. Fantastic. Thanks, Jeremy, for coming on. That was awesome. This has been a lot of fun. Lots of good information there. Thank you very much for joining us.
It's great to be here.
Awesome. On Education is an on-podcast media production. My name is Mike Washburn. My co-host is Glen Irvin. You can get in touch with us or ask us questions to answer on air by visiting our website, oneducationpodcast.com. You can tweet us at oneducationpod. Glen is at IrvSpanish on Twitter. I can be found on Twitter at Mr. Washburn. Our sound engineer is Jake Codeweiss. He's on Twitter at JKRadio. You can find us on Facebook by visiting facebook.com/oneducationpod. If you're enjoying the show and think others would too, we would be honored if you shared it with them. Please leave us a rating or review in Apple Podcasts or the Google Play Store. When you leave a rating, it gives our rankings a boost. This helps others discover the show. We want to thank our presenting sponsor, Schoology, for supporting us. Check out Schoology.com to learn how they can help you advance what's possible. Thanks as always for listening. Stay awesome. See you soon.